Hello, my lovely students in 4th primary. How are you? Now, during our journey in primary 4 lessons, we saw how what we learn in mathematics help us to understand and solve the life challenges that we meet. That was represented in the form of story problems. We learned in Unit 2 how to solve multi-step problems. Today, we will study Lesson 9 of Unit 7, which is called Putting It All Together. We are going to apply the 3 reads strategy to analyze the story problems and solve them using mathematical operations. Now, let's remember some of the strategies we used in multiplication in Access Number Talk on page 292 in your school book. Let's see it all together. Now, here in the access part, we want to calculate the product of 34 times 89. Like you see here, 34 times 89. Using any strategy you prefer. هنستخدم أي طريقة إحنا بنفضلها. Now, I'll give you some time to solve it, then we will be back. And now, after you have finished, of course, each of you choose their preferred and easy strategy. You can solve by the area model strategy. ممكن نحلها بالarea model strategy. ممكن نستخدم كمان decomposition. As we know, these two strategies are very close to each other. شبه بعض قوي. We can also use the standard algorithm. Of course, the solution must be the same no matter what different or how different the strategy is. أي strategy هستخدمها في الآخر لازم يكون الانسر واحد. Let's use the standard algorithm. تعالوا بقى نحلها بطريقة standard algorithm. First of all, I should write the numbers vertically or under each others. Of course, I will put here 89 times 34. Then, what should I do? I will start by the ones. يبقى أنا هعمل 4 times 89 وبعدين هعمل 3 times 89. So, I will start with the ones. هعمل أول 4 times 9. 4 times 9 gives me what? Yes, 4 times 9, 36. So, as we know, 6 is the ones and 3 is the tens. So, I will carry up 3 on the tens. Then, what should I do? I will multiply 4 times 8. Here 4 times 8 equals what? 32. And don't forget to add the 3. 32 plus 3 gives me 35. So I will put 35 here. يبقى 4 times 89 equals 356. تعالوا بقى let's multiply the 3 tens. Okay? I'll multiply 3 times 89. طيب في حاجة مهمة قوي هنا عايزة أقولها لكم. Before starting to multiply the tens, I must put 0 in the ones place. Put big 0 here. Why? Because this is 3 tenths. عشان أنا هبدأ to multiply the tens. Now, let's start to multiply 3 times 9. 3 times 9 equals what? 3 times 9 equals 27. So, I will put 7 down and carry up to here. Then, I will multiply 3 times 8. 3 times 8 equals what? Of course, 3 times 8, 24. And don't forget to add the 2. 24 plus 2 gives me 26. So I will write here 26. Now, what is the last step? Yes, of course, I will add these two numbers. 356 plus 2670. So the answer will be here, I put 6 and here 2, 0 and 3. So my answer is 3026. And as we said, the answer will not change no matter which strategy we use. لو استخدمنا أي strategy في الآخر لازم الانسر بتاعي يطلع the same, which is 3026. Now, after we have reviewed the multiplication strategies, let's move to build part to get to know a strategy for solving story problems in 3 reads activity on page 292 in your school book. Here is the build part. Now we will read the problem 3 times. هنحتاج إن احنا نقرأ البروبلم 3 مرات. The first reading أول مرة أقرأ البروبلم هاخد idea عن البروبلم بتقول إيه. طيب لما أقرأها تاني مرة is to determine عشان أحدد ال quantities we observe in the problem. طيب لما أقراها third time، لما أقراها تالت مرة، إيه اللي هيحصل؟ هقدر إن أنا أحدد ال mathematical questions that we find in all the problem. Now let's apply. تعالوا بقى نطبق ال new strategy دي to problem number 1 and complete the table on the next page which is 293. Please try to concentrate very well with me. Okay, here in the first time I'm going to read the problem. هقرا البروبلم لأول مرة and you should think what is happening in it. وهنشوف بقى هي البروبلم تتكلم عن إيه. طيب here is the problem number 1. بتقولي إيه؟ بتقولي Aya paints pictures and sells them at art shows. She charges 56 LE for large painting and charges 24 LE for small painting. Last month she sold باعت 6 large paintings وكمان 3 small paintings. Now we will understand from the first reading. أول مرة قريت البروبلم دي فهمت إيه؟ Yes فهمت what is happening in the problem. طيب تعالوا نشوف بقى في التيبل بتاعنا. The first question, what is happening in the problem? So I will write what? إيه اللي فهمته من البروبلم دي؟ فهمت إن Aya paints pictures and sells them. تعالوا نكتب الكلام ده. Aya paints pictures and sells them. Aya بتعمل painting وبتبيع الحاجات بتاعتها. طيب if we read the problem for the second time، لو قريت نفس البروبلم لتاني مرة. طيب السؤال بيقول لي ايه؟ what quantities are in the problem؟ ايه الكوانتيتيز اللي هو استخدمها في البروبلم؟ yes الكوانتيتيز ان هي she charges 56 LE for large painting. تعالوا نكتبها 56 LE for large painting. right؟ طيب وعرفت ايه كمان؟ عرفت ان she charges 24 LE for small painting. تعالوا نكتبها برضو 24 LE for small painting. كل الكلام ده عرفته لما قريت البروبلم بتاعتي for the second time. وكمان عرفت ايه؟ that she sold 6 large paintings with 3 small paintings. These are the quantities in the problem. طيب تعالوا بقى نشوف لو قريناها for the third time. لو قرينا نفس البروبلم for the third time هعرف ايه؟ هعرف how much did the large painting cost. ممكن بقى السؤال التالت بيقول لي ايه؟ what mathematical questions can you ask about this situation؟ يعني ايه الاسئله اللي ممكن ان انا اسالها in this problem؟ ممكن اسال how much did the large paintings cost؟ وممكن اسال ايه تاني؟ how much did the small painting cost؟ right؟ ممكن أسأل about the total cost of the paintings sold throughout the month. يبقى ممكن أسأل these 3 questions. ممكن أسأل the total cost of the painting through this month. Many questions ممكن أسألها in this problem. طيب now, these are some questions we can ask for this situation. And of course, you can notice كلنا لاحظنا إيه؟ كلنا لاحظنا إن ال last question اللي أنا سألته is very suitable for the information والdata that I have read in the problem. تعالوا بقى let's record it in the suitable place. So, let's write the question here. Find the total cost of the paintings sold. Find the total cost of the paintings sold. ده أنا شايفة إن هو أنسب سؤال the most suitable questions to ask in this problem. Now let's explain the solution. In the first step we will calculate what? Yes, the first step هعرف ال price of the 6 large paintings. Each one cost 56 LE. طيب ده معناه ايه؟ ده معناه ان I repeat 56 6 times. يبقى لازم اعمل the first step هعملها ان I will repeat 56 6 times. يعني هعمل 56 times 6. Right? So it will be what? 56 times 6. طيب انا شايفه ان it's very big number. ممكن نعملها على فكره بطريقه الموديل اريا. الاريا موديل. تعالوا نشوف كده الاريا موديل كنت بعملها ازاي. يس كنت بعمل rectangle. I divided into two parts and the width is 6. I'll put 6 here. 56 I will decompose it into 50 and 6. تعالوا نعمل الكلام ده مع بعض. So this is 50 plus 6. وبعدين كنت بعمل ايه؟ Yes I will make 50 times 6 then 6 times 6 and I will add these two numbers. تعالوا نعملها مع بعض. So 50 times 6. Here 5 times 6 equals what? Yes, of course, 5 times 6 equals 30. And then put the 0 to be 300. تعالوا نشوف this next part. 6 times 6 equals 36. So I will add 300 plus 36. The answer is 336. ده معناه إن 56 times 6 equals 336 LE. طيب, this is the first step. The second step, I will find the price of the 3 small paintings. Each one costs 24 LE. ده معناه إيه؟ إن أنا هعمل 24 times 3. This is the second step. 24 times 3. طيب تعالوا بقى نحلها المرة دي بطريقة الستاندرد algorithm under each other. يبقى هعمل 24 times 3. Okay, so I will start to multiply the ones. Here 3 times 4 equals what? 12, of course. 2 is the ones and carry up 1. Then 3 times 2 equals what? 3 times 2 equals 6 and don't forget to add the 1. 6 plus 1 equals 7. So 24 times 3 equals 72. And now to find the total price of all the paintings, هعمل إيه? Of course, I will add the two prices of the large painting and the small paintings. So the total price will be, this is the third step, هعمل 336 plus 72. When you add these two numbers, the answer will be 408 LE, and this is the price of all the paintings. And now, after we have seen this example of applying the 3-read strategy, I will give you some time to apply نطبق بقى this in problem number 2 on page 294, and we will get back after you finish. And now, after you have finished, we will notice that from the first reading, تعالوا نشوف كده ال problem مع بعض. This is problem number 2. Okay. بعد ما نقراها for the first time, we will notice what? We will notice that we can recognize the problem is about the quantity of ground beef sold by Meat King Market. Right? تعالوا نكتب كده. يبقى the problem is talking about the ground beef sold by the market. Okay, this is the topic, or this is what's happening in the problem. طيب, now we need to answer the second question اللي هو بيسألني about the quantities in the problem. The answer will be it sold 210 kilogram on Thursday, right? يبقى هو باع 210 kilogram on Thursday. Right? This is the quantity. وإيه كمان? On Friday it sold twice. وtwice on Friday. This is also quantity. On Saturday it sold 130 kilogram. يبقى 130 kilograms on Saturday. كل دي quantities طلعتها من problem number 2. Now we get, what about the third one? What mathematical questions can you ask about this situation? ايه الأسئلة اللي ممكن أسألها في البروبلم دي؟ Yes, ممكن أسأل what is the quantity sold on Friday؟ تعالوا نكتبها. What is the quantity sold on Friday? I can ask this question. Okay, وممكن أسأل سؤال تاني: What is the total quantity of meat sold in the 3 days؟ طيب the question of the problem is how much more meat بيسألني إيه؟ How much more meat did the market sell on Friday than on Saturday؟ Let's write the steps for solving this problem. طيب البروبلم دي a little bit different from the questions we asked before. Now in the first step أول step هعمل إيه؟ Yes, I need to know how many kilograms of meat did the market sell on Friday. عايزة أعرف Friday هو باع قد إيه. From the information the problem we know that the quantity sold on Friday is twice the quantity sold on Thursday. يعني اللي هو باعه في Thursday باع قده مرتين on Friday. And as we know twice يعني إيه؟ We are going to multiply by 2. So the meat sold on Friday is 210 times 2. تعالوا نكتبها مع بعض. 210 times 2. Okay. 2 times 2 4. 2 times 1 times 2 2 and put the 0, so the answer will be 420 kilograms. Now in order to know how much more meat were sold on Friday than on Saturday هعمل ايه؟ طيب الword more دي معناها ايه؟ That I will make subtraction. It considered one of the words that tell us اللي هي بتقول لي that I'm going to do subtraction. So the increase will be what? Of course I will start with the biggest number اللي هو 420 minus what? Yes, minus 130. Okay, so 420 minus 130. We can do the subtraction process using the strategies we master now. So the amount of increase, it will be 290 kilograms. The answer is 290 kilograms. Now in story problem match on page 295, we will solve 2 problems. There is a set of answers for each problem. كل problem هلاقي عندها set of answers. By applying the reading strategy that we learned from the last activities, we will choose the correct answer and complete its steps. تعالوا نشوف كده problem number 1. Here is problem number 1. From the first reading لما أقراها لأول مرة, we know that the workers planted some seedlings in celebration of Earth Day وهما بيحتفلوا بالEarth Day. طيب from the second reading لما أجي أقراها لتاني مرة هقدر أحدد the numbers and we know that they planted 65 seedlings per hour كل hour and worked for 3 hours. After the break they worked for 2 hours who planted 55 seedlings per hour. Now we are required مطلوب مننا إيه؟ مطلوب مننا to find the total number of seedlings that have been planted. When we think about the solution, we will find that we need to find what was planted during the 3 hours اللي هما كانوا before the break. Then we multiply 65 seedlings by 3. Okay? طيب 65 seedlings by 3. وكمان محتاجين نعرف ايه؟ محتاجين نعرف the number of seedlings planted after the break. يبقى محتاجين نعرف before the break و after the break. So we will multiply 55 times 2. In order to calculate the total, I will add the 2 products of multiplication. طب تعالوا نشوف بقى the solution will be in 3 steps. اللي أنا قلته ده هيحصل through 3 steps. If we notice the choices available, أنا عندي هو A, B, C and D. طبعا هستبعد تماما letter what and what, A and B. Look A, it is about 2 steps only. The numbers are different وكمان النمبرز مختلفة تماما عن النمبرز اللي عندي في البروبلم. They are not the same. طيب in C, I'll find all the numbers that find in the question as well as the solution steps. So for answer D, it has the same numbers. لو بصينا على دي هنلاقي دي عندها the same numbers. لكن ال steps are not suitable. It has 2 steps only. وأنا قلت الانسر لازم يبقى through 3 steps. So what is the correct answer? Of course, the correct answer is C. So C is the correct answer. طيب تعالوا بقى نكمل الانسر بتاعنا. So I will put C or write that C is the correct answer. Now let's complete the answer. We have here 3 steps as I said. So the first step I will make 65 times 3. Hey, 65 times 3 gives me what? Of course, 195. This is the first step. Second step, I will multiply 55 times 2. 55 times 2 equals what? 110. What about the third step? Yes, I will add the 2 answers or products. يبقى هعمل first number 195 plus second number 110. 195 plus 110 gives me what? Of course, 305, and this is my final answer. This is the total number of seedlings that were planted. Now you can apply the same steps to the next problem. تعال نشوف كده the next problem. Okay, this is problem number 2. From our reading, we will know that Yasmin bought 12 sheets of stickers. كل sheet contains 96 stickers. She gave her friends 300 stickers and we're required to calculate. We are required مطلوب مننا إن احنا نحسب remaining stickers. When thinking of the solution, of course you must know the number of stickers that Yasmin has. She bought 12 sheets. هي اشترت 12 sheets. كل sheet كان فيها 96 stickers. طيب now we can know the total number. عشان اجيب ال total number هعمل ايه؟ Of course I will multiply 12 times 96. طيب this is the first step. What about the second step? Second step we need to know the number of the remaining stickers. الstickers اللي اتبقت مع ياسمين قد ايه؟ So we are going to make what? Yes, remaining. So I will subtract. So the problem will be solved in 2 steps. As we notice the answers, we will exclude. هنستبعد تماما what and what. Letter A and C. Letter A and C أنا مش هعملهم في ال right answer. Why? Because the numbers are different, totally different from the numbers in the problem. النمبرز بتاعتهم مش موجودة خالص في البروبلم بتاعتي. طب تعالوا نشوف answer letter B. طيب B consists of 2 steps. احنا قلنا الانسر 2 steps و B فعلا فيها 2 steps. طيب why it is not correct? Because addition, he make addition in the first step and addition also in the second step. And this is wrong because we said that in the second step I will make subtraction. Okay, now so who can tell me what is the right answer here? Yes, of course, the right answer here, as you see, is letter D. Here I have the 2 steps. First of all, I multiply 96 times 12. Second step, I will make subtraction. تعالوا نحلها بقى مع بعض. Let's solve it all together. So, 96 times 12 gives me what? Yes, 96 times 12, the answer will be 1152. Okay. Then the second step, I will subtract what from what? Of course, I will write the biggest number, 1152 minus 300. So the answer will be 852, and this is my final answer. And now after we have seen some problems of different situations, you can solve another activity like the one we did with your teacher and your friends and record the answers in the suitable place in your book, page 295. On the same page, we will move now to Connect part. Let's see. Here is Connect part, as you see here. Now we are asked, did any one of the story problems, في أي story problems today فكرتك بtime when you used math in real life? Have you ever used math at the market, for example? Or when playing with your friends? Or when cooking with your mom and dad? Can you think of such situations and record them in your book? When I asked my students the same questions, لما رحت سألت students بتوعي نفس questions دول, Some of them said that yes, they used math to calculate the money to be paid for the items اللي هم كانوا بيشتروها من اللايبرري والايتمز اللي بيشتروها من السوبر ماركت، كانوا بيستخدموا المنتال math in these situations. طيب في جروب تاني قال لي that they use math to calculate عشان يحسبوا البوينتس they earn in the competitions. ساعات بنعمل competitions كده في الكلاس and anyone participate in this competition I give him or her points. So to calculate عشان يعرفوا كل واحد جاب كام point عشان شارك في ال competitions دي كانوا بيحسبوها بالmental math. It can also be used to calculate the quantities when helping your mother in preparing a meal. There are much more examples in real life where we use math. And now we will move to the practice part on your school book, page 296, but let's see it on the board. Let's solve it all together. Now we practiced a lot on solving problems like problem number 1 during our lessons, and it will be very easy for you to solve it alone. I'll give you some time to solve problem number 2, through which we will apply هنطبق strategy we practiced in our lesson. We will get back after you finish. Now, welcome back. I think you were able to calculate the distance that Malik walks in 6 weeks. Here, problem number 2. Okay, now let's review the solution. Using the reading strategy that we practiced before, we know that Malik walked 8 kilometers on Friday. He walked 8 kilometers on Friday. وكمان 6 kilometers on Saturday. Okay, now he did this every weekend for 6 weeks. Okay, for 6 weeks. طيب السؤال بيقول لي ايه؟ How many kilometers did he walk by the end of 6 weeks? بعد ال 6 weeks دول ما يخلصوا يبقى مشي قد ايه؟ To solve the problem we know that Malik walked 8 kilometers on Friday وكمان 6 kilometers on Saturday. يبقى أول حاجة هعملها the first step I will add the two distances اللي هما ايه وايه 6 plus 8. Okay, 6 plus 8. Hey, 6 plus 8 equals what? Of course 14 kilometers. يبقى this is the first step. And this is the distance that he walks in a week, in 1 week. يبقى 14 in 1 week. Okay. Then what should I do? في second step I will find the distance Malik walks if he repeats this for 6 weeks. لو عاد الكلام ده for 6 weeks. طيب to find this distance هعمل ايه؟ I will multiply of course 14 times 6. تعالوا نعملها. يبقى this is the second step. I will multiply 14 times 6. Hey, 14 times 6 equals what? Of course 84 kilometers. Okay. Now, and this is the final answer for me. This is the first step and this is the second step. Now what about problem number 3? As you see here, if you read it, it will be very easy for you to answer it by your own way. And now, by the end of our lesson, let's summarize all what we took today. Now we learned how to apply the 3-read strategy to analyze the story problems and solve them using mathematical operations. You can use the code that appears on the screen or at the beginning of the lesson to solve more and more practice problems on using mathematics in real life. And by the end of our lesson today, we will have finished the lessons of Concept 1 of Unit 7, in which we have studied the strategies for multiplying a whole number up to 4 digits by a 1-digit whole number. As well as وكمان أخدنا multiplying 2-digit numbers. We also learned the strategy for solving story problems and how to apply إزاي نطبق mathematics in different situations. Throughout the practice problems on Concept, and with the help of your teacher, you can review the lessons of Concept 1 and increase your skills in solving problems. We will meet again during the lessons of Concept 2. Thank you so much for your watching and see you next lesson.